right? We are the Israelite School of, we're formerly known as the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're now known as the Stream of Wisdom, same knowledge, same wisdom, same doctrine, right? Same teachers, just new name, right? Same brothers, same sisters. So we just transitioning into it with a new name. But this is the. Does anybody have any questions before we go straight to the topic? Any quick questions? I know you got the brothers' questions that we're going over still. Any questions? Oh, Lashabaria had a question. Was that the same one from yesterday? Matthew 5:32. Okay.
What was it?
Matthew 5:32.
Matthew 5:32. Okay, let's go there. I need to stand. This is Shabbat, right?
Come
Wake me up.
Do it, y'all. Matthew chapter 5, verse 32. But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication.
So, okay. Read on.
Causeth her to commit adultery.
Okay, so what's your question on this?
I just wanted to understand. I was a bit confused reading it. I just wanted to.
What do you think it means?
The part that confused me was saving for the cause of fornication, causing her to commit adultery. That part just confused me.
Okay, let's go over it then. Let's go to we're at 5:30, right?
Come on, 5 and verse 32.
All right. Read 5. Matthew 5. What is this? Matthew 5. Okay. All right. So what I'm thinking about is Matthew 19. So let's go ahead and read that and we're done.
Come on.
Read that.
Verse 32. But I said,
read 31.
verse 31. It has been said,
Yeah.
whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement.
Okay, so where has that been being said? Where has it been said? If you put away your wife, give her a bill of divorce. Because a lot of people don't know that's in the Bible too. Go to Deuteronomy 24:1. Right, very, very important, importante, because you get that a lot. Oh, you're supposed to divorce. Well, the Bible is giving us. Remember, we keep the Sabbath. We keep the laws. The Old Testament is not done away with. Okay, right, all right. No, it's almost like. Brothers sometimes are choosy. What's that?
I need a key.
It's almost for the front door. It's almost like brothers are choosy when it comes to the Old Testament. We can't do what the Christians are doing, right? Pick and choose. So it has been said from the law. Yahushua kept the law, right? Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
When a man have taken a wife
Right.
and married her,
Right.
and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes.
Right. Now we're understanding even what that means in the New Testament. Right? With the wisdom. She find no favor. What does that mean? I know it keeps going like the word, because all those questions need to be answered. Right? Go back to Matthew's and then give me 36, Ecclesiastes. So go back to Matthew's. If she find no favor, go ahead. No, go back to that Matthews.
Verse 31.
Stay right where you're at. Don't leave. Go ahead.
It has been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife,
Right.
saving for the cause of fornication,
Meaning, except for the cause of fornication. So you're going to see that Christ is not saying nothing different than what the law says. Right? So you go back to the law, it says if he finds some uncleanness in her. Well, fornication is unclean. Right? Now, who knows what fornication is? Yeah. Say it a little louder, sis. I'm sorry. Say that again? Right. So you have physical fornication, which is the woman goes and sleep around with another man. Right? That's it? Well, what else do you have? Go ahead.
You have spiritual idolatry.
Spiritual fornication. Right? So what happens is, before she goes sleep around with somebody, she can be unclean by listening to somebody. So if you get hit up in your DMs and you already premeditating these things, and that uncleanness is in her, and how does that come in? What form does that come in? What form does that fornication come in? And both fornications come in. How does that come? How does it look? When a woman is in this fornicating mind state, whether physical or spiritual, I can only make it, I don't want to give it away. I'm trying to get y'all to think. So don't look at me like that, like, well, I don't understand what you're saying. Okay. What way does that look? What?
I would just say it looks disobedient. Just
There you go. See, you don't gotta make it too hard. It looks what?
disobedient.
It looks disobedient. Right? When a woman starts to fornicate, you can see it in her attitude, mind, and spirit. Right? She ain't feeling you no more, right? It's like, remember where we used to look at each other in the eyes in the spaghetti, and we look at it and we eat the spaghetti and we break it off, right? There's like, nah, I'm not with that. Then it's the hand, it's talking, it's disrespecting. It's like, whoa, what's going on? You said you wanted to build this relationship on a godly sort. That fornicating mind is what? You start to go and you got, who are you ready to listen to? Who are you willing to hear? Who are you talking to? And who has a bigger voice than the husband? Who? Who?
Satan.
Okay, you went, definitely is Satan. He's at the first top of the list, but he works through people. So that's what fornication looked like. She starts to sit and listen and hear everything. Now, we've been through this, the Genesis class, right? She starts to hear everything else, right? Her buddy from the past, right? Her person that works at her job, her, right? That's what fornication. That's what I'm trying to show y'all. Like, what does spiritual fornication look like, man? She ain't hearing you. Like, your opinion is the least point of a matter in her mind. Mama still got a bigger opinion than you, right? Her best friend still got a bigger opinion than you, right? That's what it looks like. So this is why, go to Ecclesiastes 25 and 25. I'm sorry. Look. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25, verse 25.
Go ahead.
Give the water no passage.
So what happens is, like you created a boundary, right? So I'm just showing you what this fornication is, because a lot of time people are like, well, well, I didn't sleep with nobody, but bruh, we argue. Yeah, I say up, you say down. I say potato, you say potato. Right? I say tomato, you say tomato. Right? It's like, go left. I don't want to go left. Right? Why we got to go left? Do this. I don't want to do that. It's like, oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? Like, what's happening? Those are the tell signs where that fornication. Now, if y'all want me to really go deep, we can go through the Bible and show you how spiritual fornication looks. I'm not pulling from anywhere but the scriptures. Like when you go and look at the spiritual fornication that Israel did against the Father, it's literally what we're talking about. The Most High's wisdom, knowledge, understanding, His opinion, the way He said go, don't matter. What matters is what Baal says. What matters is what Dagon says. What matters is the Egyptian God says. What matters is what they're doing over there in this land. It didn't matter. So when you go to Jeremiah 3, and it says, ye adulterers and adulteresses. No, go there real quick. I know there's a lot. Hold up. Because I got a lot of scripture popping in my head. Let's finish this. Go ahead.
Give the water no passage.
So what happened is that you created a covering, right? To stop that water from getting out. Right? That's what the husband did. That's Ecclesiastes, right? Right, 25, 26. Go ahead.
Neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad.
But she's already wanting to be everywhere except where she's supposed to be. So fornication starts there. But before she's actually out in the streets, where does she have to be out of? Out of her damn mind. That's where it is. Right? Just like us, we did as a nation. We have to be out of our damn mind to not follow what the Most High said. So before she starts running out, she wants to be out. Right? She wants to be on, before she starts DMing somebody, that happened in her head already. Right? She already disconnected some way from you to be able to DM somebody else. So this is like the beginning step of spiritual fornication. So you create the boundary, right? But he says what? Where no what?
Give the water no passage.
Right, go ahead.
Neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad.
Go ahead.
If she go not as thou wouldest have her.
Now, why does it say give the water no passage? Because the other scripture says, do what? That you're supposed to create a what around her? A hedge. So if you created the hedge, and then water's getting through the house, there's something wrong. And he's telling you, your hedge ain't right. And that's what you see with a lot of brothers at. The reason why they can call their mama up and say, come pick me up, is because you didn't create a hedge, brother. I know, it'd be reality popping in. Like, wait, you're still talking to your mama? What? Because you didn't create no hedge. Right? Remember I told you the story with Myrie? And how we had to sit the stepdad in the middle? I was sitting back too. I was like, okay, you want her to talk? Let her talk. I wanted to see what was in Shalabaya. If she had more respect for me or her stepdad. If she had more respect for her husband or for her stepdad. When she said, I've been with this man for such and such amount of time, you're not going to tell me this? I knew. Okay, I don't have to create anything. She's already created it because she knows what is honorable. You see that?
God.
But a lot of you, you don't create the hedge, and then the water gets passage, and then she goes what? Read it again. If she what?
If she go not as thou wouldest have her,
Then she start not going the way you want her to go. That's what fornication, spiritual fornication looks like. You're not the head of the house anymore. Mama's opinion matters. Satan's opinion matters more. My girlfriend's opinion matters more. And you know that why? Because every time she's around them, you get them in her. They're the influence and not you. Right? Go ahead.
if she go not as thou wouldest have her.
Right. Now, we're on the same subject. I'm just going into this fornication a little bit more. That she doesn't want to go the way you want her to go. That's fornication. That's what Christ was saying. Except it be for fornication. That was the uncleanness that the law was showing us. On top of it, it could get deeper than that, right? But bringing it to what Christ said, that was the fornication. Remember, Christ was teaching the law. So what was he showing us? Bro, it got to be for something suitable. It can't be, like I always say, she got thick, or she got fat, or she got stretch marks now, or it can't be for nothing like that. It had to be something real. Y'all get this? So that's when she commits fornication. When she does what?
If she go not as thou wouldest have her.
Go ahead.
Cut her off from thy flesh.
That's the first thing you got to do. She can't be out of order. And then, y'all see this. It's in the Bible, right, sisters? Like, nobody's making this up. Like, you can read this at home yourself. This is easy. You don't need 1,000 scriptures. It's literally telling you how to deal with a woman that doesn't comply. That there is no agreement. You're supposed to cut her off from your flesh, which is what? Sexual relations. You can't be rewarding her and acting like everything's all good when she's disrespectful and she's not obedient to the gospel. That's where you fail. That's where we all failed at. Right? You're still going to laugh it off. You can disrespect me, as long as you give me some booty. And I'm going to show you what? That booty matters more than your spirit. And she knows what the world tell them. What the world tell the women? That booty is that all that matters. Right? But that's why the scripture says that you were supposed to cut that off and show her the severity of what she's doing. Go ahead.
And give her a bill of divorce.
Now we're seeing what Christ was saying. We're seeing what the Old Testament was saying. You see that? That's the uncleanliness. She's fornicating. She ain't right with you. Bro, if your mama got more opinion than you, there is a problem. If her girlfriend has more authority than you, there's a problem. So, go ahead.
And let her go.
And what?
And let her go.
Right, and let her go. So that was the basics. Like, we could go deeper into this fornication. But if she fornicates, it starts there. Right? So let's jump back.
Deuteronomy?
Yeah, go back to Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
When a man have taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes,
right?
Because he had found some uncleanness in her.
See? You find that uncleanness. What is the uncleanness that a man is looking for? What? Tell me one thing a wicked woman does. Anybody? All you sisters in class. Tell me one thing a wicked woman does. One thing. Go ahead, Lashabar.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, a wicked woman is what? Disrespectful. So, you start to see this spirit of, and we know people have, nobody's perfect. We're not talking about mishaps, right? We're talking about now a relationship There's no more standard no more. You talking to me anyway. You're going back and forth with me about everything. You show that you're not trying to listen to my leadership, right? I mean, let's be real. That's anybody. If your kids do that, I'm looking at you like, oh, it's time for you to move out. Right? Right, if you around people like that, they're just argumentative, like people try to act like this is foreign. Somebody is all around you argumentative all the time, and obviously opposite of you, right? Like I said, if I'm always saying go this way, and you say, well, why we gotta go that way? It's like 70% of the time, there's something wrong here. Because when we first met, it wasn't like that. Oh, you like blue too? For real? I'm gonna laugh with you because I want to get in those draws, right? Oh, we like the same. For real, we got so much in common.
That's
right? Remember? So why all of a sudden the tables switch? Because something had to switch. So we can't be naive. We know those tell signs where something is wrong. And a lot of these things can be worked through in a marriage. But when it gets to the point to where she's playing out, nope. Well, all right, no then. It's time to go, ho. You can give you that bus ticket, right? Okay. That's that fornication. That's that uncleanness. Read on.
Then let him write her a bill of divorcement.
Then let her do what?
Write her a bill of divorcement.
Go ahead.
And give it in her hand.
There you go. Wait a minute. Go to the courthouse and get the bill of divorcement.
Write her a bill of divorcement.
No, the white man has to be, it's the law of the land. Nigga, please. Give a damn about these faggots, homosexuals, this corrupt ass system say. But that goes back to what, see, your woman thinks. We were talking about it in the car. Some women, y'all really live in another world. Like your husband can look at you and be like, oh, I'm not playing with you. Like this ain't a game, and you think it's a game. Y'all gotta, whatever universe you're in, you better come back down to earth and know what your husband's on. Like if you really care for him, you'd be looking at him in the eyes when he look at you and saying, I'm not messing with that. It's like, you know what I noticed? You get a lot of us Israelites that you're learning how to not be confrontational, how to talk to them and smile and like blow it off. They take that for granted. Instead of saying, wait a minute, this cat is not joking. When he said he's not messing with that, he's not messing with that. And that's the problem, that a lot of women don't want to be accountable for what they know is. Why are you playing games? You know it's true. He's looking at you like, no, I'm not smiling or not, I'm not messing with that. Right? This is what I meant, this is what I'm dealing with. And when you don't lock into that, it's going to be constant contention and strife and argument and backbiting. Right? So jump back to what Christ said. Go ahead.
Matthew 5, verse 32.
Go ahead.
But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication. Now,
saving for the cause of fornication, that uncleanliness, that true uncleanliness, right? It ain't, she messed up over here. No, this is an unclean spirit, right? And we know that rebellion, right? That go to Ecclesiastes, first of all, go to Isaiah 3 real quick. We'll go there. And then we'll get this one in the Apocrypha. Go ahead. Go to Isaiah 3. It's Isaiah 3 and 12? Yeah, go to Isaiah 3 and is it 12? Yeah, go to Isaiah 3 and no, not 12. It's Isaiah. Wow. That's Isaiah. Yeah, it's Isaiah 3:16 now.
Come.
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16.
Go ahead.
Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty.
Right. So, what takes hold of this woman when she got a fornicating spirit?
They're haughty.
They're what?
They're haughty.
What sister knows what haughty is? And this is a question. If y'all just came in, the sister asked a question in Matthew's, the 5th chapter, and the, what verse?
Verse 32.
Verse 32, right? So we're talking about that. What's haughty, sis?
Prideful.
Okay, prideful. Well, let's get the definition real quick. What you got, sis? Why I didn't get that?
I would. Then we talk about, I guess, order, having like the, I hate to say it, but like the kind of like a promiscuous demeanor.
Okay, promiscuous demeanor.
You're like, you even look promiscuous.
Right. That's when they looking at you in the face like, and what you gonna do? You're not gonna hit me. Right? What you got for haughty?
Haughty,
Uh-huh.
proud and disdainful,
Yeah, proud and disdainful. Go ahead.
having a high opinions of oneself,
See?
with some
Hold on. Because if this is the point about the fornicating, now she's going not as you would have her. She's proud and she's don't want to hear what you're saying. Right? Because she ain't gonna let no man rule her. But you let your family member, you let your auntie, huh? You let your gay cousin, right? Shit, some of you even got what? You Lord forbid, your Edomite friend at work, they still giving you counsel? Like, huh? Like, what the hell are you for real? But I'm going to say this. That's once again the husband's fault. Because you didn't set the standard up from the get-go. Y'all thought I was joking. I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm your cousin, I'm your friend. I'm that in the alley, right? That's the problem. I saw one of them, I'm like, your Facebook. I was like, we need to use that for what friends you got on Facebook. I ain't got no friends. Good. Just double check it. Just double check it.
It's a trap.
Just double check it. She was like, I ain't got no friends. I'm like, God, sis, right there. I'm her friend. Shawashana's her friend. You're her friend. Who is my mother? Who is my brother? Right? That's our friend. But she's like me, it ain't. But I was doing it for the little social media advertisement. She's like, I ain't got no friends. I was like, we need to have like your worldly friends. I ain't got none of those. Good. Because now I know that you're not side talking to somebody. You're not constantly what people in the world and their opinion matter. And I know for sure her mama and daddy, because she proved that to me already. Same thing with Shawashana. So y'all got to see this, that it be your fault. And then you get in this relationship, you're telling her that's okay. It's okay for you not to abide by the standard of the Most High, which is what? Your husband is supposed to be your head. You're telling her it's okay when she got other people and all these other influences that mean more. It'd be different if they're acquaintances. Acquaintance is different than, oh, that's my friend. We go sit, talk, counsel, chat. They got an opinion that matters. It's different, right? Then your buddy at work, your buddy at school, you say hi to, right? So it be the man's fault because you don't set the hedge up. And that's why the other scripture says, marvel not when she trespass against you. Because you let that be okay. You were supposed to see it coming, but a lot of brothers think like white Greco-Romans, like, oh, she can have her friends who she wants. Okay, well let's see which one of those friends is going to influence her more than the husband. And you see it all the time. You see it all the time. So that haughty is what? Proud? What else?
And disdainful.
Disdainful? What else?
Having a high opinion of oneself.
Her opinion matters more than her husband's leadership. Right? I mean, in essence, truthfully, if we in the same mind, same judgment, you should already know it's not my opinion anyway. Right. Truthfully, let's be real about this. Right? It ain't about my opinion. It's about what the scriptures say. Right? So, this is what that fornicating spirit looks like. Go ahead.
With some contempt for others.
See? With some what?
Contempt for others.
See? When a woman gets that high mind, haughty spirit, she get that proud, nah, I'm going to do it this way, and contempt for others. Then that's when she it tells you about how a whore looks at a righteous woman. They have contempt for that spirit, the Cain and Abel spirit, right? Like, I see that purity in this sister, and you know what? Whatever, she rubbed me the wrong way. You don't even know her. But this is that spirit, right? Jump back. Jump back. So haughty, go ahead.
Come.
Read on.
Because the daughters of Zion are haughty.
Go ahead.
And walk with stretched forth necks.
Well, what does the stretched forth neck represent? The ego, the proud. That you did that though. You got her with her head moving like that because she don't know humility. You haven't showed her that the Father honors a humble woman, right? A humble, meek woman. But that's where the spirit comes from. That's where she thinks I can argue with you. Right? Read on.
And wanton eyes.
And wontons. What are wonton eyes? They're not the things you order from the Chinese food store. What is wanton eyes? What?
Is that like looking with like a sexual gaze or something like that?
You see? Now let's look it up. Check this out. Wanton. So the reason I'm going here is because that way sisters can really understand what fornication looks like. A lot of sisters think, oh, my mom and my dad can have an opinion. That's not what the Bible said. It said they will leave father and mother. Right? It didn't say the head of every woman is her daddy when she got a man. It didn't say that. When she leaves her father and her mother, it's now her husband. You under your dad when you under his roof. But not no more. Y'all get that? And then above all, if you want to deal with the gospel, the scriptures tell you what? Not to deal with counsel with the ungodly. So that means what? Mama ain't got nothing to say. Daddy ain't got nothing to say. You're supposed to be looking at them like, hold on, y'all. This is my relationship. I'm a grown woman. And I'm a godly woman. This is what the Bible says. But why don't you say that? Why don't you say that? Come on, give it to me. Why? Their opinion matters too much, but why? Why don't you say that? La Shabara, why?
Because you don't want to move out there. You just want to be stuck in all day.
Y'all hitting on it, but y'all ain't hitting on it. You know why? Because they believe that way mama and daddy said. That's the why. I ain't going to argue with them because I want what daddy and mama said that way. I don't want what the scriptures say. That's why holy matrimony was supposed to be on this. It was supposed to be on the gospel. And the agreement, right, was supposed to be on this. And as we agree on this, nothing can put that asunder. Right? But a lot of times it ain't on the word. Go ahead.
Wanton.
Wanton. Go ahead.
The Webster's 1828.
Go ahead.
The sixth definition. Loose.
Right. She's what?
Loose.
She's loose. That's what wanton is. Stretch forth meaning what? That she don't care who she sit down with. That's why she can sit in front of you and talk a certain way. When a woman entertains more than one man, she'll sit there with her neck up and look at you dead in the damn eyes. Like, nigga, your opinion don't matter. Go to YouTube. All those little holes they be interviewing. And they be asking them how many men. Look at them. They don't care. Their body language. So the characteristics of this spirit of a harlot, which is obviously going to fornicate, right, is wanton, proud. She just moves like that, right? They do that. There's no, hey, you know what? Let me be quiet now. I'm talking over him. Nah, it's like, nah, nigga. I got a degree. I got my own house. I got my own car. I got my own this. I got my own that. Nigga, you can't tell me nothing. And you see that in their lingo, because if it's humility and you honoring the Most High, you were supposed to say, hold on a second. It doesn't matter what the hell I got. I'm supposed to follow the word. See? See, that's what I'm saying. We have to realize what this fornicating spirit looks like. That's why when she asked the question, I'm like, well, do y'all really know what it is to fornicate? Like, people think, oh, yeah, she just go have sex. But the reality of this, we know nobody just goes have sex. There's a whole build-up to all that. There's a whole setup. Y'all get this? So when you deal with this spirit of fornication, she moves in this mode. The haughty spirit. The proud spirit. Go ahead.
Unrestrained.
Right. The what?
Unrestrained.
What?
Unrestrained.
Unrestrained. She don't got no chill. You ain't going to close my mouth, so I'm going to keep talking. Right? I know, when you read these scriptures and you realize, man, your rib got a whore spirit on her, it's disheartening. You're like, God damn, and it's not a sister that has hiccups. We all have hiccups. This ain't talking about that. This is talking about a spirit, a woman that moves in this mold, this way to where, like, she moving around the house like, nigga, I don't care what you say. You know what I mean? I'm only happy when I get what I want. And then when you start putting your foot down, then it's what? Arguing and fighting and debating and talking and When I'm talking about a sister that, you know, gets out of line here and there, and for the most part her works are, you know, listen, you're my husband, I know what I got to do with the Spirit of Christ. We're talking about women that live in this spirit, in this haughty mode, and that's what the Father is putting on blast. That's why y'all got to look up these definitions. Like, a lot of women don't know they're moving in a whore spirit. They don't know that. They're thinking like, oh, I'm just a black woman in America. No, you're moving in the spirit of a harlot. So that's why you move like that. That's why your mouth and your head start popping, because you're moving in that mode that's out of order from the Most High. And they don't know that. You know what I mean? They don't know it. So she got a good question. But we can't just jump in, oh yeah, sleeping around. Nah, it's way bigger than that. Because if you've ever been through a divorce, what did you do? You know what I mean? If you ever had to cut a woman off, what did she do? Right? Being a righteous man. When I talk about when you was in a wicked relationship and there was no boundaries anyway. We're talking about righteous men and women. When you had to eventually cut that woman off, it was what? It was, we can't talk anymore. Like, you don't want to hear nothing. You don't want to hear nothing. You're going to talk over me. You're the man. So at that time, I'm like, oh, where we're at, it ain't going no further. This spirit, you done fornicated with any idea except what I'm telling you. They're trying to lead you.
God.
So read on. Come on.
Running to access.
Running to what?
To access.
Excess, right. Excess. Now, read on. Go back in Isaiah.
Come.
Yeah, hold that. Hold that. Go ahead.
Walking and mincing as they go.
Right. Walking in what?
And mincing as they go.
So, what is it telling us about a woman that's in the spirit of a whore and obviously in a fornicating spirit? She's her body language. See, a lot of women don't understand that. What is becoming of a woman? Like motion, like if your husband left it up to you, how many of y'all wouldn't care about wearing a bra? Like now in this day and age. Why? Because the reason why you're wearing it is because the Most High, but you don't see there's something innately in yourself, yet your nipples and your titties are out, that makes you look like men are going to look at you. Yeah, I've been to the mall today, so she asked about fornicating. Now I'm like, these out-of-shape hoes don't even give a damn. They don't care. I'm like, wow. I'm like, no, I'm not looking at them like they bomb. I'm looking at them like, wow. You're like cover that cheese up. But the problem is that the men accepted it. The men said what? I'm going to deal with that. And they didn't know how to be men and leaders and teachers, and they didn't know how to cast down these imaginations, so they move in that mode. And they deal like that. And they tell them that is acceptable. But think about that. You don't know when you got something on that your ass is showing. You got a big ass, but you don't know what you're wearing, that your ass is so situated that a man is going to peek. You don't know that? God, you don't know it because that's what America has taught the women. It taught them what? How to be whores, especially our women. And they taught them, and you don't know what it is to be a whore or in this fornication spirit. So when you get flipped and put to the side, you don't know what's happening because your whole character, the dress, the walk, you think everything is acceptable. But that's why we looking up the words, the Most High goes through it and shows us like, look, this is a haughty woman. She's disdainful, right? She has these characteristics. Go ahead.
And making a tinkling with their feet.
Go ahead.
Verse 17.
Go ahead.
Therefore, the Most High will smite with a scab the crown of the head.
Right. So we know that that's the curse, right? The scab is you're bald-headed and you got to wear those wigs. Right? And when you put your hair in a ponytail, it's a little knot like that. Why? Because the Most High took away your beauty. So he does what? He take away your hair. Right? Go ahead.
Of the daughters of Zion.
Go ahead.
And the Most High will discover their secret parts.
See? So being haughty, right, is not a good quality. What comes with haughtiness? You walk around like they did in the mall today, and like they do every day in front of y'all's eyes, and they what? They don't care if they big, they don't care if they small. The girl at the kiosk, the faith kiosk, the faith cart, she had shorts, her ass was coming out. I mean, they were literally cut to above her ass. This is in broad daylight. And I'm like, who the hell is that? And Shariah's like, well, let me give you the rundown. She slept with this person at school. I'm like, eee. Right? Why? We're getting closer to that day. The days when you could just call your mom up and get a ride, Most High's taking away those days. The days where you are disrespectful, is it getting out? Right, yes, yeah. The day where you can get disrespectful and call the cops, The Most High is taking away that day. Right? That's what he said to these type of women. Go ahead.
Of their tinkling ornaments about their feet.
Right. So what does this express? What?
It's taking away the beauty from them.
Nah. Nah. It's taking away what they admire and they use to beautify themselves. The beauty is not those things. That's what you use to beautify yourself. But the Most High is going to take away all these little things that they use to beautify themselves. Right? But this is what women do. Y'all got to understand this, that the Most High is showing you, right, what makes a harlot, what makes a woman a fornicator. It's all these things. It ain't, she just slept. There's a lot that goes on before that. You put on the jewelry, you put on the makeup, you put on the damn purple hair, and you have more respect to that. That's what it is. Did you pick her up and you act like she's something special? But she's nothing in the eyes of the Father. She's nothing in the eyes of the Father. We're nothing in the eyes of the Father till we change. We're nothing in the eyes of the Father till we change. So when you deal with a woman, why is a woman more different? Because she got boobs in the butt? You got boobs in the butt. To the Most High. He's looking at your spirit. So that outwardness doesn't make you get a pass all of a sudden. The Most High is still saying these qualities that you're exemplifying doesn't make you a godly woman. Y'all get this? Okay, so he said what? Verse 24.
Instead of sweet smell, there should be stink. And
why is there stink? What did they tell you about semen in a woman? How long does that stay in a woman? A long time. That's why she stinks. Because no matter what, the more men that she deals with, right, that semen stays in her body. Now imagine you going down on her and she smell like fish. All that is going in you. You understand? So that's what the Most High is showing us, that this is what makes her a fornicator. Right? Because she's moving like this. She's moving in this spirit. Go ahead.
And instead of a girdle, a rent.
Right. And instead of a girdle, meaning what? Everything is nice and set. Now you what? You're out of shape because your spirit. We know that is a spiritual thing too. Because it tells you the body, the mind pressed down on the body. So what the Most High is saying here is your spirit is off. So look at yourself in the mirror. Your body's off. Yeah, you just out of shape. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And instead of well set hair,
right,
baldness.
I guess the Most High really wanted that one in there, right? Because he said that twice. He wanted to remind the black, Hispanic, Native American woman twice that you're bald because of your haughtiness. You don't have hair because of your haughtiness. Right? And I always say this too, even the Hispanic women. Our women had hair all the way back like the hair you buy from the Indians. They had the hair back to the back of the ankles. Not what our women have now. The only way you get that hair now is what? We see Esau in the mall, he had dreads. That's the only way you get that hair now. You let those dreads grow. We talk about real hair, healthy hair. Right? The Most High stripped her of that. Go ahead.
And instead of a stomacher,
right,
a girding of sackcloth.
Right, a girding of sackcloth. The sackcloth is what? I want y'all to get this one. Who understands what the sackcloth is? When do you put sackcloth on? There you go. Gave it away, right? Gave it away. Go ahead, Aaron.
And you're afflicting your spirit?
Well, you're being afflicted. So instead of something that holds you right and holds you close, you're just a sad ass crybaby. Right? You're a sad vessel. You're depressed. You walk around with that old damn lumpy, depressed spirit. Why? Because you're moving in the spirit of a harlot. You're moving into that fornicating spirit. Right? You had your hand raised?
Question. So if you're saying your body is a reflection of your spirit, so then wouldn't you say the same thing about when the women, okay, well, I'm gonna take the shortcut route, I'm gonna get the liposuction,
Yeah.
the Brazilian butt.
Exactly.
Right?
Same thing.
Your persona, basically your persona fake. It's fake as hell.
Yeah, you fake as hell.
So you're either lazy and obese, you got cankles, or you wanna just objectify yourself and be this false image of what you're really not.
Yep. Exactly. It's all phony. It's all fake. But they do that to what? Promote a spirit of fornication. Right? It's all about lust. It's all about the outward appearance, right? All right, go from there. Go to Ecclesiastes real quick. 24 in verse 17. I'm sorry. Start at 16.
Ecclesiastes chapter 24, verse 16.
Go ahead.
As the turpentine tree, I stretched out
I'm sorry, Ecclesiastes 25. Sorry, 25 to 16.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25, verse 16.
Go ahead.
I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon.
So when does this fornicating spirit come on a woman? When you what?
I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon.
Right. What are we talking about? When did she start to put on the robe of fornication? When she wants to fight and argue with you. And when she's a lion or a dragon, right? What do you want to do?
I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon.
Right. But when she is like a lion and a dragon, what do you want to do? Go and get it. Give me the scripture. What do you want to do? Come on. If we don't show what is going to get a lot of these women lonely and why a lot of these women are single in this day and age, because of the spirit of fornication, we ain't going to do no justice to what Christ was saying, except it be for fornication. Like, y'all think that a woman can act any way and be any way, and you got to accept that. Nah. It's a spirit. The Most High is not doing that with us. He's not accepting no man anyway. Right? Con? Where we at? Proverbs what? Read that. Proverbs 21 and 9.
Con. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 9.
Go ahead.
It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop.
Okay, so read Ecclesiastes again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25, verse 16.
Go ahead.
I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon.
Why? Because you rather do what? When you're dwelling with a lion and a dragon, right? You're like, but it doesn't say. You get it. Understand what it's saying.
It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop.
It's better to where?
Dwell in a corner of the housetop.
Now, I get a lot of this. Brothers are like, but I got to deal with her. Well, if you keep running and you don't slay that lion and you don't slay that dragon, that lion and dragon is going to always flare up on you. So you can't always run. I know you rather, though. Ready to say? No, in Proverbs?
It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop.
See? I know you rather, but you can't. Go ahead.
Than with a brawling woman.
With a what?
With a brawling woman.
With a woman that what? We're going to find out. A brawling woman. Read.
in a wide house.
You got a nice house, but you got this brawling woman, right? So that's what it means. Read it back in Ecclesiastes. That was Proverbs what?
Proverbs chapter 21, verse 9.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 25, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon
Right.
than to keep house with a wicked woman.
See, I'd rather go dwell with that lion and dragon, right, than to keep house with this wicked woman. So we're talking about the spirit of fornication. Well, how you know she's in that spirit? Like y'all, once again, you don't want to realize it. You don't want to realize it because what? You're a good brother. You're like, man, she just need to be taught. But, right? What you laughing for, huh? What's funny, huh?
I think that's a thought of yeah, Con.
I can teach her, huh? Hey, listen, I'm gonna keep teaching her and it's gonna pull out of her. But if you came here and you've been here 6 months and you still don't know how to pull up your pants or stop smoking the cigarette, we're gonna be like, bro, we already told you. It's a tell sign when you're submissive to the Father. It's tell signs. Why is it with men, it ain't a tell sign that she's a wicked woman? Okay, you're a good brother, right? You want to give her the benefit of the doubt. But eventually you're going to have to see what you got if there's no transformation to the new woman. Go ahead.
Verse 17.
Go ahead.
The wickedness of a woman changes her face.
So now, according to Isaiah 3, we can understand what that means. When she got a whorish, fornicating spirit on her, it do what?
The wickedness of a woman changes her face.
It do what?
Changes her face.
See? It do what?
Changes her face.
So, what happens when she got this spirit on her of Isaiah 3? It changed her face. To what way? Go to, it's actually in Ecclesiastes. Go to, it changed her face, right? Look, check this out. Naughty. It's not naughty, it's haughty. 26 and 9. Let's see what it, let's see, the scriptures are going to tell you. It changed her face, right? Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 9.
Uh-huh.
The whoredom of a woman.
Now we back there. We're back to what we were talking about in detail. That, what are we talking about?
The whoredom of a woman.
Go ahead.
May be known in her haughty looks.
Back to Isaiah 3. You want to know what that spirit of fornication looks like? It looks like this. Her haughty looks, her disdain, her high opinion, her how she moves, how she's argumentative, right? Go ahead.
And eyelids.
And what?
Eyelids.
How she talking with her eyes? Like you doing that? Like what the fuck? Like what is that? I'm telling y'all, sisters, there is a no nigga zone up here. We're not messing with you. We're not playing those games. Like, whatever men you dealt with, this is not it. Right? You got to come correct like the Father said. You're not exempt because you 5 foot tall and petite. We are all have to be accountable for what we do and how we act and our conduct in the spirit of the Most High. That's not acceptable. Your haughty looks and then what? All that. All that with the eyelids, right? Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
If thy daughter be shameless.
Now it tells you how to deal with her, though, right? But we're talking about verse 17, 25 and 17. Read it.
The wickedness of a woman changes her face.
They change her face, right? And that's what you see a lot more in the world. They put on the makeup, they put on the eyelashes, they do those things. Why? Because they're exemplified through all the carnal things in Isaiah 3. And they're showing us what? That their outward beauty is what they determine as beauty. They're not determining their beauty as the inward man. Y'all get that? So they move in this fornicating, whorish spirit. That's why it says she's a what? The whoredom of a woman may be known in those haughty looks. You're good with that. Read down. Go ahead.
And darkeneth her countenance.
But we see a what? A thigh. That's what we see. Like when you're doing all that, we don't see a righteous, bold woman standing for Christ. We see a demon. And that's why we want to what? We want to run. Because you're more uglier that way. It don't matter the makeup or how you look. The spirit gets on you. It's darkening your soul. Go ahead.
And darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth.
Go ahead.
Her husband.
Now, I do have to add, and I 100% know that brothers will agree with this. Right? If your rib needs the girdle, and she is big, and she is overweight, and she has lost that youth, it's more disheartening when she's a demon. You're like, now you look like a what? A damn football player. I never, like, it's not, I can look past that. I love you. But, you know what I mean? I know you're big. Good, that's fine. But I still love you. But when you get demons on you, it's like, this is, now I start looking at you weird, like, damn. Because it darkens your countenance to that point to where all those ugly features come out instead of a kind, gentle, meek, humble, whether skinny or fat, it don't matter. You can be petite and beautiful, but get out of order. You what? You look like the girl crawling backwards. That's how it looks. That's why, like what the world is waking up to, these men are waking up. That's why there's a lot of all these social media, they're like doing the Kevin Samuels. It's like, because little by little, the world is going to go back to what it was. It's got to come. You got to come back around, and it's going to come back to the men standing up, putting things in order. They still don't know the proper way. They're trying to find out. They don't know it's through the Most High. They're trying to touch on it. Right? Go ahead and read on.
Verse 18.
Go ahead.
Her husband shall sit among his neighbors.
Right?
And when he heareth it, it shall sigh bitterly.
Why? Why is her husband among the neighbors? We still talking about a woman that is fornicating, right? Why? Somebody answer that. Why?
Because he don't want to be home.
Right, he don't want to be home. What else? What?
Because he feel like this woman could do anything to him, stab him in the back.
This woman would stab him in the back. What else? What?
Say in the world, you go get a drink, try to take the edge off, link up with your homies, go to the strip club or whatever.
Right.
And or on the other side.
Well, we don't do that in the truth. But I get what you're saying. Go ahead.
On the other side, you will be trying to get counsel with your neighbors, and then on the inside you'll be like, dang, they ain't got to deal with that.
Right.
So You be like an eyeball out.
But I'm going to show y'all something. Go to Proverbs 7 and 10. Go to Proverbs 7 and 10. Let me show y'all. Because it answers it. It's going to answer, like, fortunately, this ain't no Genesis breakdown. These are like straight to the point, straight cut. So, you know, you can just go right to the verse. There's not a lot that you can dispute on these things, right? Read that, Proverbs 7 and 10.
Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot.
Okay, we're talking about the same type of fornicating women. How she moves, how she dresses, how she walks, how she talks, how she moves her damn head, how she moves her damn eyelids. Well, so my eyelids make me haughty? Yes. How you batting them? That means, yes, you don't got no damn control about yourself. Go ahead.
And subtile of heart.
And she's what?
Subtile of heart.
That's going to come into play as we read down. Read on.
She is loud.
She is what?
She is loud.
She is what?
She is loud.
She is what?
She is loud.
She's loud. Go ahead.
And stubborn.
Wait a minute. What else?
And stubborn.
And what?
And stubborn.
She's loud and stubborn. So when you deal with a woman that got a spirit of fornication, you're not cutting her off because she's big. You're cutting her off because she's doing these things. She's loud, she's stubborn, you don't want to be at home, and she's what else?
Her feet abide not in her house.
Then you see she's influenced by everything else except the house, except her duty as a wife. This is what it's telling you. Read.
Now is she without.
Now is she where?
Is without.
Go ahead.
Now in the streets.
She's where?
Now in the streets.
She's in the streets. She's for the streets.
Come.
She got a street mentality.
Come.
Well, she's not in the streets. Okay, let me read it to y'all again. Go back up to the, y'all not understanding. She's not in the streets. Let's try it one more time. For us that got pause. Go ahead. Read it from the top one more time. 7 and what?
7 and 10.
Go ahead.
And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot.
Her outward wear, clothes, define her. What she has defines her. Her physical defines her. In her mind, I can pick up another one anyway. Go ahead.
And subtile of heart.
And she's subtile. That we're gonna get to this subtile heart, right? Because there's a theme with that. Go ahead.
She is loud.
She is what?
She is loud.
Okay. It ain't just about she's in the streets. She's loud. And what else?
And stubborn.
And what?
And stubborn.
And stubborn. She want to combat. She want to argue. What did we read about the haughty of a woman in Isaiah 3? She was haughty. Then we went to Ecclesiastes 26. It says the whoredom of a woman is known in her haughty looks. It's a whole vibe. It's a whole wave. That's what she's in. That's the mold of the American woman. Right? That's what we're coming out of. Go ahead.
Her feet abide not in her house.
Yeah, it's not only that she's not at home, but you got a lot of sisters don't want to be home. And they what? Miserable, right? I don't want to be home. I'm miserable as hell. But I'm here because what? I guess I got to be here. But this should be in your spirit. Go ahead.
Now is she without.
Right?
Now in the streets.
Why? What's she in the streets doing? Go ahead.
And lieth in wait at every corner.
She's a busybody. We know this one's a straight whore. Right? When it goes down, this is straight harlot. She's literally selling and giving her body to every man. That's the fornicating spirit, right? Okay, jump back to Ecclesiastes.
Verse 19, Ecclesiastes chapter 25, verse 19.
Go ahead.
All wickedness is but little, to the wickedness of a woman.
Go ahead.
Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. As the climbing...
There's a deception that there's a lack of understanding what God hath brought together that no man put asunder. Let's read that verse again, though.
Verse 19.
So y'all can, I want y'all to get this. Y'all think God put everything together. That's not what the scripture is saying. It's not saying everything you put your pee in, God brought together. Y'all, so I gotta keep our marriage. The Most High hates divorce. God didn't put that together.
Right.
Your pee put that together.
Con.
Yeah. Stop playing with yourself. Fornication. Think about it. So God made you fornicate with those people. See, this is why Christianity is ludicrous. But y'all supposed to be above that and get it. Because if we're saying that God put everything together, and that's what that means, that every relationship is put together by the Father, then this is contradictory, number one. Yeah, you know, Most High, He put me and her together. No, He didn't. Bro, the app put y'all together. Right? Your lust put y'all together.
Con.
The Most High didn't put that together. That's why I said what? Read.
All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman.
Right? Right?
Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her.
So then, all I know is the Most High don't tempt you with evil. So that means that who put y'all together? You wanted that demon time? You got some demon booty? Both ways. You got you a demon man and you got him a demon woman. We don't want to realize that. We don't want to realize, damn, you know what? This union was built off of lust. That's why it is evil. It is fighting and arguing. And it's not of the Most High. Because it's not a real union. Right? In the spirit of the Most High.
Con.
That's what it be a lot of times, but we be what? You're a godly person. You're trying. Damn, I'm coming in here. We're trying to hear, like, let's make it right then. Okay, I messed up. But how about if you're becoming a new born-again virgin and she don't want to be it? She want to still be for the streets. Or you want to become a righteous sister and he still want to be for the streets. You see? Can two walk together, at least they be agreed? That's why this has to be. It ain't mama, it ain't daddy, it ain't your girlfriend, it ain't your cousin. It's this. And this is what it says. So, that going to this fornicating, this is the only reason a man can cut a woman off. Is she's in this mode. That's the only way. To where she's like, I'm not hearing you. Watch, what else? What else does it say?
Verse 20.
Go ahead.
As the climbing up a sandy way is...
Not only is she loud and stubborn, she's what?
As the climbing up a sandy way.
Damn, every time I get into it with you, it's like I got a damn fight up a hill. It's an uphill battle. It's impossible to get through to you. Like you never want to see it. Never. It ain't 1% where you trying to humble yourself. This ain't a union no more. This is, you just damn out of order. You out of order. You go not as thou wouldest have her. Right? Go ahead.
As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged.
Yeah.
So is a wife full of words to a quiet man.
See that? The quiet brothers are the ones that what? They smile and they just walk away. Like, okay. They chuckle and just walk away. Like, okay. Before I choke you the hell out, let me walk out. That ain't the Spirit of the Lord. I rebuke you, demons. right? That's what he's saying in his head, and he walking out, right? But you still over there what? Why? Because that spirit that your black mama put on you, that spirit that the white man put in you, you gonna do this, because you know why? Any minute, don't act the hell up, nigga, because I'll call massa on you. I'm going to keep talking, and guess what you're going to do? You keep your ass walking, because you ain't going to do nothing. I'm going to keep talking. And that's what you don't see, that the Most High is showing us that fornicating, it's just not, you know, oh, she stumbled and fell on top of a man. No, it's a whole thing. A lot of you think, oh, I got to deal with this rib that literally is doing all these things. Bro, Most High wants you to dwell with a dragon, a lion? No. He don't want that. And vice versa. It just, her question is according to, you know, a man giving a woman the divorce. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 21.
Go ahead.
Stumble not at the beauty of a woman.
That's why you can't worry about her goodies. You can't worry about that. Because that beauty, if you're enamored only by her physical appearance, you'll do like Solomon, and your loins will control you. Instead of really what is a marriage. A marriage is coming together in this matrimony. Right? Go ahead.
And desire her not for pleasure.
See, if the pleasure of what her goodies can give is more powerful than this, then what happens? She'll disrespect you behind doors, in front of people. Then she'll disrespect people you around. She'll disrespect friends, family. She'll do all of that. Right? She's the type of one that have family members that come around, they're disrespectful, and she'll laugh it off. Why? Because you didn't set any standard. It's your fault. And you told her, man, yeah, I'll pick it up anything off the street and it's acceptable. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 22.
Go ahead.
A woman, if she maintain her husband.
Then she starts to do what?
Maintain her husband.
Bruh. Then she starts to maintain you. At least in her mind. See, I know you're thinking like, well, nah, she ain't maintaining me. But if you let in all this go on and dealing with it, and there's no repercussions, take it out of this relationship. In any relationship, a work relationship, a job relationship, in any relationship, if a person did this like to you, what do they call you? If your boss, well, the guy, the mall management would try to come and yell and scream and get disrespectful, right? It wasn't until he put him in check that mall management had to realize when I come around here, I got to deal right. In any, see, we do this with the Bible. We act like it's foreign. Like, oh, wait a minute, you're talking about getting me in order. Yeah! If I got to teach you like a damn dog because you don't have what? Proper etiquette and standards.
That's right. To talk.
To talk and deal with somebody with wisdom. Now I got to correct you like that. And that's what you did. You corrected him, right? And put him in order. And he came around what? In order. But the problem is that when people, like if anybody came in here like that, and we just let them do that in the middle of class, they'll think, oh, I can come and do that, right? It's the same thing in a relationship. Why do we get all weird about it when it comes to a relationship?
I'm not weird.
Yeah. Like, it's like, oh, damn, you know, so I got to talk right to him? Are we there? Yes. If you don't want me to call you a fat, out of shape, disgruntled asshole, and I can't do that, and I got to be like and say what? You know what? You're being out of the spirit right now. Thus saith the Lord, you better get it right. The Most High is going to check you. Right? Y'all laughing, but that's what we got to do. Because I'm going to have to be accountable to my kids, my daughters and everything. Right. And if I just let off on any of my ribs and say, look, you dirty, kids are going going to be like, what the, right? So we got to do what? I'm showing you how all this dynamic works, how everybody's affected by it.
Right.
But also, what you're doing, and you're doing all this disgruntled, the kids are there looking at mom like, and look at dad, bitch up. Oh, okay, that's what happens. You're going to let her talk. Yeah, you get the scriptures, but she ain't hearing that. Oh, the Bible don't work. Oh, okay. Dad, you pulling the scriptures. Okay, Dad, get the scriptures. And why she ain't hearing it, right? All that is seen too, just like it's not seen that we talk to our women like that. You see that? So all of this is an effect on what we do. And when you act like, oh wow, to be this type of woman that can actually compose herself and show respect within herself and not jump and get emotional because she's being told something wrong about herself and she can conduct herself right, like that's something foreign or wrong, we are gone. We are gone. Right? It shouldn't even be like that. We should see, damn, that's how a person of a standard deals. Yeah. Right? What, you were going to say something?
Question, because you had posed a question about like letting her be this woman who maintains her husband. Would it normally come from the man's perspective, like a fear of loss? I don't want to lose what we got. It's hard to find another woman.
Well, because the pleasure, the physical is more prevalent in this relationship. You know what I mean? You're only looking at her for pleasure. Like if I say something, then I'm not going to have that access to sex.
Well, no, she follows the scripture. She does what, she studies, she does her thing, but,
There's an underlining, I'm not going to submit.
Yeah, I don't want to overstep my boundaries and trying to make her submit, or to show her that she needs to submit.
Oh, well, here's what you said in your conversation, and what I realized over 40-something years. You can't make anybody submit. And this is not about making anybody submit. I try to tell you. You know what I mean? I grew up out of that when I was 30. I realized this ain't about forcing somebody. This is about each and every one of us believing in what the Most High said and holding ourselves accountable. You know what I mean? I know this class is going to go over the demon's head. The demons are going to be a demon. They on demon time. Right? They on demon time. They're not on, they're like, all this. They still looking at it like, nigga, when you get home, watch. Right? They don't give a damn about this. So, this ain't about making, it's about teaching, and then the men knowing where the line can be drawn biblically. So her question is on fornication. The line is drawn in the spirit of fornication. Right? That's not what we have to deal with. That's not a union. That's chaos. Right? When you're dealing with something like this. And I'm not saying spats and little disagreement. I'm talking about a whole relationship that's based off of, I'm not going to submit. I'm just not going to do it. What we here for? We literally believe in different things then. Right? So she starts to maintain him when you give her this power, when you show her what? Like Solomon showed his rib, what? He showed his ribs, what? You know what? My loins are yearning, so you know what? I'm going to put up with you. That's what he said. He said, you bowed your loins. Right? That's what Sirach said about him, right? He bowed his loins, and everybody knows that. That's exactly what he did. Right? So his loins were controlling him, and then therefore the maintaining of him came in. The women maintained him. Now, that maintaining, that guiding, now they're setting up the rules. Right? No, you crawl to me. Get down. You get down. You get down on your legs. Right? And then now bark like a dog. Bark like a dog. Get a dog. Right? Now the roles are switched, right? Go ahead.
A woman, if she maintain her husband,
right,
is full of anger.
But the nature of what the Most High created, that's against nature. So it's innately, she start moving. It's like, but damn, baby, I'm giving you what you want, right? I'm giving you what you want, right? But she's still moving in this anger spirit. Bruh, women, they don't know. Like, they want a man to run things. They just don't understand how to. So that's another dynamic, right? They want a man to take the lead.
God.
Here's the dynamic. They want them to take the lead, but they don't know what the lead is. So when they take the lead, and it's not according to how they feel, there's battling there. That's that dynamic. Because they don't know. They won't know unless we're in the same mind, the same judgment. Then you'll be able to say, nah, my husband is taking the lead by, like the scriptures say. I don't have nothing to say about that. You see? But they're like, yeah, I want a man to take the lead, but they have no damn idea what that means. No idea. Right? Go ahead, read on.
Impudence.
Right. Look up the word impudence. Because we're talking about what gives you right to divorce. Because we just read it in the law. We're reading it in Matthew. What gives you the right to divorce? Right? Well, obviously, this type of woman. Go ahead.
I have two.
Uh-huh.
This one says impudence is a noun that means being rude and disrespectful.
What? Oh, she's a black woman. She got the right to be rude and disrespectful and pop her head back, right? Hell no. 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 You're supposed to know your tone and know your delivery and know that when you deliver this, how it's going to come across to your husband.
Calm.
Right?
Calm.
You're supposed to know the tone. Go ahead.
Rude and disrespectful, especially to someone older or in a more important position.
First of all, you're trying to usurp authority because you know the Most High gave me the authority. So you know what I had to start doing back in the days? When I started cleaning my act up, I had to go back and remind my ribs what I'm not. I'm not in the strip clubs. I'm not in the street. You don't see me popping from woman to woman. I'm in class. I'm learning. I'm changing. I'm working on it. I'm trying to be a better father. I'm trying to be a better husband. You're not going to respect that? You just think you're going to talk to me anyway? You're going to deal with me anyway. You're not going to respect what I'm doing? And had to remind them, like, no, you got to now that I'm cleaning the act up, now it's time for you to fall in line as well. So they don't get to, women don't get to act anyway because you're married to them. Hell nah. Hell nah. They were supposed to hold themselves according to a standard as well as we are holding ourselves to the standard. Go ahead.
Shamelessness.
What? She's what?
Shamelessness.
And what does it say about a shameless woman?
Counted as a dog.
It says a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. Right? Go ahead.
Want of modesty.
What she needs modesty. Go ahead.
Efforts, need, assurance.
Right, y'all get it. An impudent woman is a woman that needs modesty, but she obviously don't have it. She don't have control, right? She don't have order. She don't have discipline. That's why you young sisters are supposed to be understanding this. You can be a virgin all you want, but be a whore in spirit.
God.
You can be a virgin all you want and still have a whorish spirit on you. Right? And I'm saying that because I got daughters too. If they are not looking at the characteristics that Yahweh Shai is lining up and saying, damn, the attitude, the spirit, the boldness, how I come across, how I talk, right? We need to go over another gentle class and understand what it means to be a gentle woman. Right? What?
The brother's ex-rib in Houston, she was his first.
right?
And they were together.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
had that, you know.
yeah. She was a virgin all, brother, in body, but in spirit, it was nothing but battling. Why? Because the little Latina spirit in her, right? The little feisty chikorita, she was. Or, no, niggerita. The niggerita in her, what? She wasn't hearing that.
Battled everything he said.
Battled everything she said. Right? Go ahead.
A company, it says a company.
No, I think we're good.
Oh.
You want to read the whole?
No, this is the last.
The whole diction? We're good on that. We get it.
Yes, sir.
I think we get it. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 22, last preaching.
Uh-huh.
And much reproach.
And much what?
Reproach.
And what does that mean? That now is arguing. Now, because you bowed your loins to her and you didn't set up a standard. Now, this is important because I think in answering the question, I think you guys, sisters, are learning what not to do as well. How not to be as well. And then you're learning what? Oh, damn, the Bible tells the man to deal with me like this. That's what y'all not getting. Like, when he's like, nah, you're out of order because of this, and this, it's literally telling him to deal with you in a certain way because how you're moving. Go ahead.
A wicked woman abated the courage.
And then you start to do what? Argue, fight, and what?
Abated the courage.
What you got?
God. To beat down.
To what?
Beat down.
To what?
Beat down.
How does she beat you down?
She abated the courage.
Now, you're right. But when you go back to the other precept, it said, the brawling woman. Right? She wants to what? Argue. She wants to battle everything. To where you're looking at her and you're like, but I just said. And she's not hearing that. She want to battle everything. She want to argue everything. Y'all got to understand this. I'm going to simplify this for y'all. And this is the most smallest way as a human we can understand this. All right? In relationships, unless your husband says, jump off a bridge, really what does it come down to? Really what does it come down to? I'm going to help y'all out and give y'all some great advice right here and now. To stop all these arguments. Really, what does it come down to? Now, he's telling you to do crack. He's telling you, listen, you're going to make me that money. And you're going to go sell that body. He's saying, hit this or you out of order, right? If he does that, I get it. No, sir, not so. That's for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. But he's not doing that. So what does it really come down to in these relationship arguments? What's that, Mama?
Is it pride?
It is, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the dynamic of when you deal with the relationship in these conversations. Majority of these conversations, the issues and the problems that come from it is one thing that is not liked. It is pride, we can go into that, but it's something else. What? You're all right. I think I'm asking, me trying to disguise what I'm asking in the wrong way. I'm going to give it away. It's method. You're not arguing nothing but the way he does things. You're not arguing that he's got a pentagram in the back and he's making you bow to it. You're not arguing because he walks over to you and punches you in the teeth. You're not arguing that. You don't like his leadership, his method, the way he does things. That's why you're wrong and you're out of order. Because when it comes down to method, he's going to have a different method. That's him. Right? You're arguing when he says, listen, it's a quicker way to get that way. You make a right, go down, go a mile, make a left. That's what you always are arguing. You're arguing you don't like his method. Unless you just straight out arguing doctrine, and that's a whole other thing. But a lot of these problems come through method. I don't like the way you do things. Right? Well, we're going to leave the kids with such and such and that. Well, why we got to leave the kids with such and such? All right, how about we do it this way? Well, now I was thinking it. Okay, like anything. How about never mind? You just tell me what we gonna do. You tell me what we're gonna do. Won't you? Hey, but you just leave it. How about that? Because it always comes down to that. That's where these arguments come from. You don't like his method. You don't like his leadership. But unfortunately, the Most High made you second in command in the household. Or fortunately, right? He made you second in command in the household. And you got to accept that. Your job and his job. And let go of the pride, let go of the ego, let go of all these things, right? Go ahead, read on.
Maketh an heavy countenance.
Right, that will make a what?
A heavy countenance.
Read.
And a wounded heart.
Go ahead.
A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress.
Go ahead.
Maketh weak hands and feeble knees.
Right. How many times does she go back and admit she was wrong? I know that's a big one right there. You're like count, brother? You mean like 1 and 2 and 3? Like she came back and was like, well, what do you mean? Well, I mean that, Shalom, baby. I was all out of the spirit the other day. Because the word is true, and the scriptures you were giving me were right, but my ego and my pride, it wouldn't let me submit. How many times has that happened in your relationship? Never, huh? Exactly. But that's why women get divorced. That's why women, if she goes down as thou wouldst have her, cut her off. Because you're never going to submit to his method when you're in that mode. That's when a man can cut this woman off. She's fornicated. She ain't following him no more. She's not following him. She's following somebody because she's going to follow somebody. But she ain't following him. A kingdom divided against itself will not stand. Y'all get that? So this is what the Most High shows her. And then you read down. We're back to the point where we were at. Read down.
Verse 24.
Right.
Of the woman came the beginning of sin.
Right.
And through her we all die.
It reminded you that there is no way, in no way, that we are supposed to submit to the woman. There is no way that you are supposed to submit to her. Now, that doesn't mean you don't listen, you don't take advice, you treat her like trash, you do wrong things to her, you be an evil husband. That's not what that's saying. What it's saying is that as you are in order and in line with the Father, there's no way a woman is supposed to rule you or the house. All right? I'm going to repeat this again for the algorithm. The woman, that doesn't mean you treat the woman like trash. It doesn't mean you don't listen to the woman. It doesn't mean you don't give her her due benevolence. It means that she is not to rule the house. She's not to rule. She's supposed to be submissive to you. And that brings you to 1 Peter 3:1. Right? So let's finish that up, the fornication. Go back and finish up the Matthews. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Verse 32 from the top. But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication.
Now we understand what that looks like a little bit better. Like it's just not, you can just throw her aside. There's a whole thing with this. Go ahead.
Causes her to commit adultery.
You cause her what?
To commit adultery.
Yeah, because if it's not for those things, then why are you cutting her off? What you cutting her off for? You see? Go ahead.
And whosoever shall marry her,
and then you cause her to commit adultery when you cut her off for not a valid reason. There's men that do that too. You know what I mean? Oh, she got big or she got too skinny. You know what I mean? I like them thick, and she just lost all this weight, and I'm not feeling it no more. That's not it. That's how you're gonna cause her, in a ripple effect, what it's saying, to commit adultery. Because it can't be for that. It has to be for something valid. Go ahead.
And whosoever shall marry her
Right.
that is divorced committeth adultery.
And then the guy that laid with her, he committed adultery. You did this whole ripple effect. That's why we try to keep marriages together. We try to, sis, brother, could it be worked out? You see? Could we get some humility in this? Right? That's why we do that. Because when a woman or a man, they get stubborn to that point, they don't want to work these out, and there's no humility, then what happens? Yeah, listen, if the man, if it's done right, it's a divorcement. If it's not, you're going to cause a ripple effect in the nation. Right? Go ahead.
Again, ye have heard that it has been said by them of old time.
Okay, so we got that? Does that make sense? Okay, yeah. Obviously, I went into the fornication part, or what fornication looks like, the whole class. Did anybody have any other questions before we end it out? Anything? It's 9:47. I mean, we got another question. I can answer that, or yeah, we got like 13 minutes. Right? Hey, listen, we look at it like this. We stood here till 1 yesterday, so the Most High knows our souls. No, but does anybody got any other questions? Yeah, go ahead, sis.
Can we go to Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 2 down to...
Yeah, go to Deuteronomy 24, verse 2. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 2.
Go ahead.
And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel abiding.
No. Deuteronomy 24 and 2.
Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 2.
I'm in Numbers.
And when she is departed out of his house,
right,
she may go and be another man's wife.
Yeah, meaning, if this divorcement is a divorce, it's a separation, and he wrote that bill of divorce, she can marry again. Right? That's the law. Go ahead.
And if the latter husband hate her,
right,
and write her a bill of divorcement,
so if she, go ahead,
and giveth it in her hand,
right,
and sendeth her out of his house,
go ahead,
or if the latter husband died, which took her to be his wife,
go ahead,
her former husband, which sent her away,
go ahead,
may not take her again to be his wife.
That's the law. Right? Basically, you're not just going to pass this woman around. She's not going to jump back and forth and then come back to you. Go ahead.
After that, she is defiled.
She's what?
Defiled.
Obviously, she's defiled. Being passed around like that. Right? Go to Matthew 19. We got to go there. Go to Matthew 19. So we can touch on this part for the ones that don't have it. I know some of you scholars already got this, but just a reminder. That's 19 and 3. I guess we do got more time. Yay! 19 and 3. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 19, verse 3.
Go ahead.
The Pharisees also came unto him,
right, tempting
him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife?
Now, according to the law, is it lawful? According to what we've just read in Deuteronomy 24, the law says it is lawful. But look how Christ deals with the situation. Because with them, they err not knowing the scripture or the spirit of the law. Right? Go ahead.
For every cause. And he answered.
See, walk it back.
Verse 3.
For what?
For every cause.
See, that's not lawful. That's not in the law. So now we see why Christ answered it this way. It's not in the law that you can pull her away for every cause. That's not in the law. There had to be some uncleanliness. There had to be some fornication, some adultery. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female?
Go ahead.
And said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife.
Right.
And they twine shall be one flesh.
Right. So, Yahushua was once again, what was the problem with the Pharisees? We went over it the other day. That they didn't know the spirit of the law. So how he answered the question was according to the spirit. Like, ideally, this is what is supposed to happen. Right? You're supposed to be together. You're supposed to leave father and mother and be twined one flesh. Come on. But not in America. Your mama's in the relationship. Dad is in the relationship. God ain't in the relationship. Right? That's the different dynamic. But it was supposed to be like that. Yes. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Wherefore there are no more twine, but one flesh.
We were supposed to be united. One mind, one spirit, one judgment. Go ahead.
What therefore the Most High have joined together.
See? Right there. You think literally that meant the Most High joined every relationship together. Yeah, because you got a paper. Like, first of all, the white man don't count. The white man never counted. Show me in the Bible where we were supposed to go in our captivity and go to the heathens to be approved. Y'all are tripping. Daniel never submitted. When they said you're going to eat the king's food, he was like, I'm a fast. I'm good. Show me when Joseph was in Egypt, where he submitted to that Egyptology. You're like, well, it don't say all that. He didn't submit to the damn adultery. You know they was doing that like everything. Joseph's still a godly man. He never submitted to what y'all gonna run how I run. Y'all gonna move how I rule. And what he do? He ruled with wisdom of the Most High. Show me. I said, show me. Show me where Abraham in Mesopotamia moved like the Mesopotamians. You got it twisted. That we, in every captivity, we didn't move like them. We tried our best to keep our laws in our captivities. It was a hell of a hard ride. You know what though? I'll take it back. There are some that did, and they were called wicked men. It tells you in Maccabees, it says, yes, and many Israelites consented to their religion. Maccabees 1. That's the only ones you see. So, there is no way we needed a commitment from the white man over the father to say we're in holy matrimony. Go back to the Bible and show me that. It was with the other nations. You can't. The agreement was with the father and the mother, the priest, the elder of your nation. Your nation. All right. Go ahead, read on.
What therefore the Most High have joined together.
Yeah.
Let not man put asunder.
You read that. Read.
Verse 7. They say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement?
See, they thought they were trapping him. You're not trapping me. Go ahead.
And to put her away.
Go ahead.
He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives.
So why do we still have divorces today? Same reason. Same reason. It didn't change. So that's why the law has to be there. Because the law's for who?
The lawless.
The law's for the lawless. Ideally, no, it don't supposed to go that way. But when you're disgruntled, you out of order, you think you're going to do whatever you want to do, and because you got a piece of paper, he's got to be your husband. Hell nah. Same thing for the man. Like he gets to be a whoremonger and do all these things because he's the man. It don't work like that, y'all. Nah. For the hardness of the heart, that law had to be written. The Most High knew where we were going to end up. We was going to end up in times like this, where our people ain't got no damn sense. They don't follow no structure. They don't got no love thy neighbor as thyself. There's none of that. So, and a lot of times we jump into these relationships like a dog and heat. Right? Damn, I've been single. First one that come along. Right? That's the truth of it. So he answered that correctly. Moses is written in the law because of the hardness of your hearts. Go ahead.
But from the beginning, it was not so.
Yeah, but from the beginning, that wasn't needed. That wasn't needed. The Most High said they two twine become one flesh. They're together. Go ahead.
And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery.
There you go. Y'all see that? Except it be for fornication. So now we understand that. You know, it's in the law for that reason. Because you would think, oh, you know what? How about this? Let's switch it. Well, he's punching you in the damn face, but he's your Lord. You can't never get it. You can't leave him. That's why he gave the what? He gave the in the law, Moses. Why? Because if not, he'd be your Lord choking you out. You gotta obey me and choke. Nah, hell no, run from that monkey. He's a Looney Tune. He's out of his damn mind. Right? You were supposed to treat her as your own flesh. Right? Not beating her up. Right? So that shows you in both ways why that law is needed. Because during this time, there is no damn law, and nobody wants to abide by the scriptures. Right? Like, as many relationships I've seen and been in, when you're young, you ain't got no damn sense. You don't even know why you get in a relationship. It's because you got fire crouch. Right? And then when you get older, it's what? You let resentment and all baggage come into your relationships. Right? And what about when you come into the truth? Same thing. You never let go of the worldly mind, so we're clashing now because somebody thinks like the world and somebody is trying to be the new person. So now you got what? A kingdom divided against itself. That's what it comes down to. Y'all get that? I mean, y'all should know that. Y'all see it. I'm just showing y'all what the reality is. That's why we got in these relationships. Fire crouch. You didn't examine. You didn't sit down. You didn't really know what she, like, man, I got to get to know her. Her color. That's deep. That's deep. You guys got so much. The white man bamboozled us, right? He put up damn these rom-coms, and you're like, man, I got a whole list. What color do you like? Like, that you ain't knowing her. You ain't knowing him. How many times you been to jail, bro? What you been in jail for? Well, I've been in jail. I killed my ex-wife. Oh, thank you, because that was one thing. I was looking at your jawline, your guns, and everything. I wasn't going to ask that. That's what I'm saying. It's like we've been taught not to think. And then when you get with a lunatic, you're like, damn, why is this? You know what I mean? She's wicked. He's wicked. Like, that's what you wanted. You wanted that demon booty. And you got it. Right? A wicked woman is giving that portion to a wicked man. Right? Bro, we've all been there. We've all been there. I have not throwing stones. I'm just saying, we've all done it. You know what I mean? But some of us got to grow the hell up. We got to grow up and understand how these relationships are going to work. It's beautiful, man, to be in a 20-something year relationship, and it working. It's to be able to look at y'all and say the Bible works because everybody is moving off of this. I'll tell you like this. That's the only reason why is this. Because once we tap into who's not perfect and who is perfect, we're done. We are done. Like, because we can deal with imperfections all day. But the dynamic of my relationships is because we look at each other and we understand what is not perfect that individual is continually working on. And we agree in this. And then we can have the long suffering and the gentleness and the working with. But once this is out the picture, right? We throwing stones. Nah, I can't deal with this no more. I'm not dealing with you. I'm going to talk over you. I'm going to yell at you. You know what I mean? But when I can come and say, look, okay, relax. Let's deal right now. And she relaxes, that is peace in itself. That is precious in itself. Well, relax. Calm down. Hold on a second. Breathe a little bit. Then we can talk about this, because if not, it's going to be all emotions. And then she's snapping in Israelite mode, Bible mode. Okay. Well, this is what I'm trying to say. All right. And then you see me, I'm calm. I'm ready to deal with it. I'm not going to walk out. Well, let's talk about it. Then we can deal with wisdom. It's a beautiful thing. It works. It's just, are we going to put our egos aside? Are we going to put our pride aside? That's what it comes down to, right? Yeah. And I'm sure many people in relationships, they can tell you. They just don't, they do it without a standard of the Most High, right? But they deal with each other's S-H-I-T, right? Yeah. All right. Any other questions? No, I didn't answer. Yeah, you got a question? Ecclesiastes 7?
Oh, no, I don't remember. That was you.
Your question?
Yeah, 7.
Ecclesiastes 7.
Ecclesiastes 7:15. Remember we was talking.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, yeah, that's an easy one. Let's go there.
I thought we had.
You got an answer?
I thought we did.
Okay, I mean, if we got an answer, we got an answer. Okay.
But I'm not sure. Did we answer?
But y'all can't ask me. My memory is, I got a short-term memory. So.
Carry away, huh?
Yeah, all right, let's go. Ecclesiastes 7:15 real quick, and there's the one that goes right with it, Isaiah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 15.
Yeah, real quick.
All things have I seen in the days.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perished in his righteousness. And there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness.
Right. So.
Yeah, that is the one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one thing when you go into this Ecclesiastes, you know, Solomon is now seeing all the things of this life that is nothing, right? And one thing he's seen is that when you lock into righteousness in this world, what happens? What happens when we do the will of the Father? You what? You're mocked, you're laughed, you're spit on, you're reproved, right? But the wicked, what? It tells you, we went over this too, we don't have to go there. Psalm 73, which is what? The wicked grow like the palm tree, right? They're growing, they're succeeding, right? But the righteous man is what? Read it again.
It says, all things have I seen in the days of my vanity.
Uh-huh.
There is a just man that perisheth
Right.
in his righteousness.
Right.
And there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness.
Right. See, the wicked is prolonged. Why? Because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right? It says in Psalm 73, we went over the other day, it says what? The wicked prosper. Right? But you coming to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, what happens? You look down upon it. You looked at as a what? A loser. You still over there with those guys yelling on the corner? You stupid. You should have been done. You should have been did your own thing. Right? So that's how we're looked at. But there's a scripture that comes to mind. I thought it was in Isaiah. That's Ecclesiastes 7 and what?
7 verse 15.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the scripture. It tells you about the righteous perishing.
Question.
Yeah. Yeah.
What me and Delvon was talking about this. I think it was just me or it was him also. I wanted to know if verse 16, explaining that righteous man. Is verse 16 explaining that righteous man?
Read verse 16.
Verse 16.
Go ahead.
It says, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? That's verse 16.
And what do you mean? I want to understand what you mean right here, because he's jumping right here. He's jumping. Remember, these proverbs is not like a story, or these Ecclesiastes is not like a story. Like, think about what was he trying to say then? Watch it. Don't be too good. He definitely wasn't saying that.
Well, no.
Right. He wasn't saying that. This is him telling us what? Not to make sure you got to watch what you give yourself to in this verse.
Right.
Like, you got to watch what you tap into. Right? And when it says, be not over righteous, when we do things in righteousness, your technicalities, right? For instance, a perfect example, when the Maccabees were going to war, and it was the Shabbat, they were over righteous, but they had to come back and say, wait a minute, if we don't fight on the Sabbath, then we won't have a Sabbath to fight for. They were being over righteous. So that's what he's jumping to at that point, right? And of course, over wicked, you know you're a sinner. But the other scripture in Matthew says, if thy eye be dark, how much darkness is in you, right? You got to watch how much you let these things and wickedness consume you, because you'll be what? Destroyed. Right? So he's given us the balance of these both too on that point. But, so Isaiah 57, on the 15th verse, Isaiah 57 and 1.
Come.
Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 57 verse 1.
Go ahead.
The righteous perisheth.
Right.
And no man layeth it to heart.
Right. See? Then there's another one. He says he maketh himself a prey. There's another one. Go ahead.
And merciful men are taken away.
Right. You see, nobody's looking at the righteous and being like, man, that was a righteous man. To them, you're a rapper, you get more fame than a righteous man. They're not worried about a godly man, a man that stood up for righteousness and truth. Right? You're taken away in what? Nobody regards that. And that's what it's saying there. It's 58. I thought it was 58 or 59, right? 15. Go ahead. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 15.
I should have went with my first. Go ahead.
Yea, truth faileth.
Go ahead.
And he that departed from evil,
go ahead,
maketh himself a prey.
There you go. You make it. When you separated from the pack of gay lions. You know how it be a lion pack, and then that little lion run away. He separate himself. He make himself a prey. Well, when we separate ourselves from this gay world, this homosexual environment, right? And you go stand by yourself, right? What happens? All those little gay lions come after you. That's how I look at America. That's how I look at America. It's like, what happens when we separate, all jokes aside, we separate ourselves from the darkness of this world, right? And make ourselves lights of the world? What did Christ say in John 17? Huh? They hate you because they hated me. Right? So you make yourself a prey. So wickedness, all things I have seen in the days of my vanity, there is a just man that perished in his righteousness. You perish, you go out, and nobody regards that. Why? Because righteousness is not regarded right now. Right? You better what? Move as wise as serpent, harmless as doves, in the midst of a what? Crooked and perverse generation. So that's what it's saying here. Yeah.
What was that you brought out in Psalm 7?
Psalm 73. Psalm 73 about the wicked. When David said, I almost almost slipped when I see the prosperity of the wicked. Right. It's Psalm 73 in Psalms, what is it?
Verse 2.
No, 73. And there's 2 chapters I gave y'all. Two chapters that talk about, it kind of almost sounds similar. It's 37. Psalm 73 and Psalm 37. But he goes through kind of the same points about seeing the wicked prosper. And then, of course, you can go back to the Job, right? I say we went over the other day because I do remember we went over this about the prosperity of the wicked. Job 20. It says 20 and 5 down, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite for a moment, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach up to the clouds, yet he shall perish. So just going into how that it's the wicked, it's their time, right? I mean, you got that, right? That makes sense?
Perfect.
Y'all? Okay. Yeah. No, nothing. All right. Anything else? Yeah.
John 15 and 13.
John 15, 13. Let's go.
I
That sounds familiar.
actually read this after workout.
You're my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say greater love.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Book of John, chapter 15 and verse 13.
Greater
love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. So, what I had, the question I posed to them was, when to know when is the right time to enact that, that urge.
To lay down your life?
Yeah, well, to know whether or not, like in the Maccabees, when they went to war.
Yeah.
And the people that they were with, they didn't know that they had the trinkets in their coat, and that they got the judgment from the Most High, that they died. So if say the Most High was losing Esau, like a cop or something, and this brother just started getting frisked up, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. I know it. I'm right with you. Check this out. How do we make war?
How do we make war?
Yeah, how do we make war?
We pronounce it.
No. How do we supposed to make war? How do we make war, y'all? I'm saying it in a way so I don't give it away. But
sit down and count the costs.
We sit down and count the costs at council. So if you do things according to righteousness, you're going to be able to determine if you're getting, we've been over this too, if you're getting checked by the Most High, or if you're doing something out of the spirit of the Most High. Right? So even in that instance, If you're doing things according to the Spirit, counsel, with wisdom, and the Most High is on your side, you'll be able to know, right, what was of the Father. That would be clear. Yeah. Like us now. Let's go back to relationships. It goes right back around. Like, you can judge your relationship based on how you got in the relationship, if it's of the Father. If I have fire crouch, and I just wanted to hit, was that of the Father?
Wow.
Okay, so when I get checked, I gotta know. It's easy for me to know what? I'm getting checked because I didn't do things according to the scriptures. And that's applicable in everything we do in the Bible. We do in the Most High. Right? Every decision we make was supposed to be analyzed through this. So whether it's war, whether it's relationships, whether a soft answer turneth away wrath, whether agree with thy adversary quickly, all that timing is in the Bible. But if you don't properly have time, the scripture says it's a time for all things. Well, how do I know when the timing is? That's why if you ain't in the Spirit, you won't know the time. You would think, what? It's time to right now jump on this brother or jump on this cop that got this brother on the curb. Right? Not knowing that, oh, well, what happened? What is the Most High doing here? Right? If you can say, oh, well, we went out in the Spirit and we didn't provoke, we didn't do nothing. Okay, then, well, what about the apostles? Let's go through the Bible and analyze. But remember, we got to do this quick. We got to do this now. We're in the middle of it, right? What did the apostles do? Right? Did they fight? Do we jump on the cop and kill him right now? Right. So you see, like, you got to be the Spirit is quick, so your judgment has to be quick in the moment to know. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Achan was brought out and was abused and was burnt up because Achan hid the Babylonish garment under his tent. Why? Wait a minute. Everybody's good, but this brother's getting tossed up. Oh, why is that? He said he would give his angels charge over you. He said, what? Oh, so look, we can go through the Bible and correctly analyze real quick to be able to say, wait a minute, y'all fall back. Officer, he's not resisting. He's doing good. You see what I'm saying? And de-escalate. You can even be the righteous man, and this person is in a situation that is the Most High's checking him in. The prayer of the righteous availeth much. Your wisdom in itself can what? De-escalate the situation so it don't end up in him getting his neck broke on the curb, but what? They lock him up. Right? So, it depends where we at, what situation. Right? But we got to have the judgment of the Most High to make these decisions. Yeah. So, any other questions, y'all? Good 2 days of class, man. What we got? Oh, that was it? Okay. All right. Remember, high holy days are coming up. You got the dates?
14.
What?
14, 23rd, and the 28th.
14th. The 14th is trumpets. The 23rd is the Day of Atonement. And the 28th is Tabernacles. Just a reminder. We're going to keep reminding you. I never heard that. I don't want to hear that. I never heard the feast. It was on what day? Y'all didn't announce that. We're announcing y'all. We're reminding y'all. We're trying to be our brother's keeper. Yeah, I'm like that too. But at least we know it's coming up, right? So 23rd is the Day of Atonement. All right. So if that's it, let's salute everybody online. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.